Hey friend, welcome to Breaking Free, 14 Days to Food Peace. This is a real conversation for the woman who's tired of starting over, afraid of food, and ready to feel like herself again. See, in this series, it's going to speak to the woman who's tried it all. She's tracked it all, and she feels like she's losing the battle with food, her body, and herself. Does that sound familiar? I'm Cassie Covey. I'm a coach, a mom, and a former all-or-nothing perfectionist who's finally stopped living by food rules and started listening to her body. See, in this 14-day series, we're talking about what really keeps women stuck. The shame, the spirals, the mindset, the habits, and how to break free without another diet or reset or, starting over every Monday. See here, each episode is short, honest, and designed to speak directly to the part of you that's exhausted, but not done. Let's get into it. Hey friend, this is episode 8, When Tracking Becomes a Burden. Welcome back to Breaking Free, the series for women who are tired of food guilt, done with extremes, and ready to rebuild trust with their body. Today's episode, it's for the woman who's burnt out from tracking. Maybe it started as a tool, a way to stay on track, learn your portions, or feel more in control. But now, it really feels like a second job. And if you forget to log something or eat off plan, the guilt kicks in. If that sounds familiar, I want you to hear this. If tracking your food feels like a second job, that's not failure, that's burnout. So we're going to go over when tracking helps and when it hurts. Okay, so let's start here. Tracking, it can be a very helpful tool, very helpful. It can teach you a ton about portions, about patterns, and even awareness. But it's only helpful when it serves you. I'm going to repeat that. It's only helpful when it serves you. If tracking starts to dictate what you're allowed to eat, if it creates guilt when you eat something unlogged, if it makes you anxious about meals with friends or spontaneous snacks, if it pulls your attention away from your body and into an app, then it's no longer a tool. It's a cage, a serious cage, and you don't need another cage. There's this quiet little thing called perfectionism, and sometimes that hides inside of the food logs. See, for many of us, tracking becomes less about data and more about doing it perfectly. Have you been there? Really dig deep. Have you been there? Have you thought that's what it's about? Have you thought that while you're doing it, it's got to be done perfect? And what I mean by that is you need to log every gram. You avoid anything you can't calculate. You turn down meals that don't have nutrition labels. And when you miss a day, you feel like you failed. Let me say this clearly. Your worth is not found in your food tracking app and the streak that you're getting. And your body, it doesn't need a perfect log. It needs consistent support. What starts as awareness often turns into obsession, and you don't even realize that it's happened. I remember there was a day when I realized that tracking had taken over. I had done it for so long. Just completely done it for so long. I wouldn't eat anything unless I could log it. Seriously, that's to the point that it got. And if I didn't know the exact macros in something, then I would choose something safe, something I was used to. I was afraid of being spontaneous with eating things. I wouldn't eat a snack unless I could log it. If I didn't know the exact macros on something, I would choose a different meal. I was afraid of just eating something spontaneous. Afraid of messing up, afraid of food. I had gotten to that point because I didn't realize that I was going for the perfection part, and I lost sight that it was just a tool. So the day that I stopped using it and I said, okay, I'm just going to go this on my own, it was terrifying. It really was. I felt like I had ripped away the only thing that was keeping me in control, the only thing that was making sure that I stayed on track. I don't know another way to explain it. But what I found instead is I found a little bit of freedom, and I started listening again. I started listening to my hunger. I started listening to my cravings, to what actually made me feel good, not just what looked good in a log. And that's when it kicked into me. That's when everything made sense. Is that for so long, I looked at the log and I looked at it as it needed to be perfect. There was that perfectionism coming in that was wrapped in that log. And I didn't even realize it. Like, I didn't realize it at all. I had lost sight that this was just a tool. And this tool was to just bring awareness to what I was doing. But in my head, it was flipped. And it wasn't until I stopped logging that I realized that, man, I missed the big picture. I missed it. I totally didn't realize what this was. I didn't see it for what it was. I saw it for something that was holding me in, and I had to be perfect on it. You know, that's the only way to put it. So when I saw it, when I took that off of it and I reframed it and I saw it as a tool, just a tool, because that's all it is. It's just a tool. It flipped everything and it changed for me. So now this is about eating with intention without tracking everything. See, here's the good news. You don't have to choose between obsessively tracking or eating on autopilot. There's a beautiful middle ground. It's called intentional eating. It's where you pay attention to your hunger and your fullness. Build balanced meals that include protein, carbs, fat, and fiber, and allow flexibility and satisfaction. Like, reflect without obsessing, so you can still be mindful without micromanaging. Do you hear that part? You just have to get to that point. And if you haven't tracked before, then this isn't a part for you. This isn't a part for you, because step one is just tracking and being aware of what you're doing. Because without awareness, you don't know where you're at. It's like the blind leading the blind. You're just going, you know? So if you haven't tracked at all, then you need to track your food. But you need to realize it's just a tool. Just see it for what it is, to bring awareness, accountability, hold you where you're at. This is what you're doing. It's not to obsess over. It's not about perfection. All right. So in this part, if you're ready to take a step away from the numbers, but you still want structure, like you just need a break from the numbers. Okay. Here are a few non-tracking strategies that'll work for you. Okay. And this may be even a place where you start first, because it's not going to be, it doesn't feel like it's overwhelming, like it's too much. Okay, here are some non-tracking methods that still build results. So if you're at a place where you're ready to step away from the numbers, but you still want structure, here are a few non-tracking strategies that work. All right, write these down. Get your pen and paper. So think about that. Number 2. Number 1, use your hand as a portion guide. All right, just take your hand, look at it now. Think of palm size, that's for your protein. If you have a cupped handful, go ahead, cup your hand. That's for your carbs. And a thumb, go ahead and put your thumb up. That's the amount of fat. Then make a fist. That's the amount of veggies. So think of it like that. All you need your hand. Number 2, check in before and after meals. Ask yourself, how hungry am I? That's before you eat. And after you eat, ask yourself, how satisfied do I feel? Number 3, aim for consistency, not precision. Your body doesn't need mathematical perfection. Okay, let me say that again. Your body doesn't need mathematical perfection. It needs regular, nourishing foods. Number 4, eat foods you enjoy. Satisfaction reduces the urge to overeat later. Number 5, build habits you can do on your busiest days. That's where sustainability lives. If you can do it on your busiest days, you are always going to do it. You're always going to, because it's built around that. Let that stick with you. So if tracking has felt like a burden, I want to offer you something that'll help you. I hope this has been it. I hope this has helped you through this. This is your permission to stop tracking and start trusting. So your body doesn't need a calculator. It needs care. Okay, friend, if tracking is turned into a stressor instead of a support system, you're not failing. You're simply being invited to make a shift. Just a shift. That's all you need. Because it's not meant to be overwhelming. See, food is meant to nourish and not control. And freedom is still possible. One small choice at a time. That's what it is. One small choice at a time. And it turns into the snowball effect. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who needs to hear it. Save it for yourself on days when you need to replay it and hear it again. And come connect with me on Instagram. I'd love to hear your story. I'd love to hear what is going on and where you're at. Do you need a support system? Have you been using tracking as a support system? Or have you been trying to be so perfect with everything? Sit with that. So until next time, I want you to keep choosing peace over perfection. And I will catch you on the next episode. If this episode hit home, take a second to breathe. So you're not broken. You're not failing. You're just stuck in a system that was never meant to support women like you. Like women carrying the weight of everyone else while trying to hold themselves together. I want to help you change that. So DM me the word weekend on Instagram and I'll send you a resource, a next step, or just a reminder that you're not doing this alone. And if you know another woman who needs to hear this, forward her this episode. Share it with her, send it to her, screenshot it, put it in your stories. Let her know that she's not alone either. I'll see you tomorrow for the next truth that you didn't know you needed.